Morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing? Ryan, how was your weekend?
Good. Very rainy, some bad weather, so it was just a nice weekend to sit on the couch, watch television, not do a lot.
There you go. Yeah, it's always a nice way to spend a rainy weekend. I took my kids to one of those indoor water parks. It was fun. Good family weekend. I don't know if those are the cleanliest places to be swimming ever, but
Certainly get you out of the cold air, huh? Because those things
yeah,
with heat are pretty nice.
yeah, they keep it like 84 or something in there. It's funny though because it was so warm, but it was so cold outside that like there were a couple places where if someone opened a door and let a cool breeze in, like you felt it, like when you're all wet.
Yeah. Well, I've been trading gold.
Everything looks pretty bearish today.
Very. How's the Nasdaq doing?
It's also pretty bearish. You can, if you want to share your screen.
Yeah. Getting there, man. Sorry.
I haven't traded anything yet.
No?
No, we got home late last night, so I wasn't up as early as I normally am, and so I kind of got on the chart just a few minutes ago. But the indexes are all looking pretty ugly. All the individual names that I've looked at are looking pretty ugly. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it's one of those days where it sets us up to look like a obvious short pre-market and gives us a nice rally, or if we continue in this bearish trend. We'll see.
Yeah. London started out pretty good. Well, I take that back. London started a bit consolidated, then turned good. This area right in here, I'll just highlight it with a rectangle here. That little zone up in there, man, that shook me out and in and out.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, and I could have played it smarter. I've gone back. Okay, so bottom line is I shorted from the consolidation at finally a good spot, and then shorted this down. I took profits periodically on the pullbacks. I'm in it for only half a lot right now. I'm still in it because what I did was I actually exited down here when the trend hit that old key level again, same key level.
Yeah,
bounced off of it.
Is that the 4 hour or weekly?
That's a 4 hour key level, that blue line. But when it bounced back up to this one trend line, I rejoined it, hopped back in, really, really small, just to see, in case this thing just continues to go, I wanted to have something to do with it. If I do any FOMO, it's always light. I don't do a heavy FOMO, but I don't mind risking, a 0.25% or something like that just to jump in. But up in here, that's where I really lost at that consolidation area. London's markets opened up on that green candlestick. That was pretty cool. So I'm usually coming in the market about 15 minutes before London opens to get my feet settled.
Yep.
Yeah, and then that was beautiful because that's what you usually want at the beginning of London. You want something to demonstrate it's just now finishing some kind of trend or it's just now entering something new. It did that pop up and I went for it. I waited for the swing back. I took it. It only lasted like 15 minutes on a 5-minute chart and then pushed back down. And now in this little area here is where I was having some difficulties figuring out which direction it wants to go. I mean, I didn't have this line drawn at the time. If you're looking at it there. So yeah. I kind of jumped in and out, changing my mind, but only losing like, oh man, 0.1%. Just unsure, jump out, jump back in. Pretty much it, man. Then I got in about somewhere in there and wrote it down.
Yeah, that looks like some tricky chop to begin the session for sure, but nice trade.
And that's something I'm working on, everything I just now kind of said I went through. That's my weak spot, man. That's my weakest point of trading is is and then maybe it's not. Maybe someone else, more experienced, would say, actually, that's pretty good. You lost very little during the chop. You're trying to stay in it.
Yeah, and then you hold your winner better. Yeah, I mean, I think that could be, obviously, as long as you don't overdo it and let it get you emotional or anything like that.
The reason why I think it's my weak spot is because I'd rather recognize consolidation before it's
and
too
avoid
late.
it altogether. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's more possible the more experience you get.
Yeah, I agree.
Where was this? I don't even remember where I had that. It doesn't really matter now.
I know I'm trying to mark up US 30 right now, and we're weak enough. I don't have any levels marked down below, so I'm doing some of that right now.
But I noticed on the horizon for the week we have
Some news this week.
PPI tomorrow. See, basically we have major news Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but we're in the clear today and Friday. I like that.
Yes, yeah. Today we're in the clear. Tomorrow, it's 8:30 a.m. my time. Obviously I don't know, depending on where you live in the world, where that is for you, but yeah, core PPI tomorrow, all restricted assets at 8:30, and then Wednesday, core CPI, and that's also 8:30 my time, and then it looks like there's some crude oil inventories at 10:30, and that's Eastern Standard Time. And then Thursday we have core retail sales and natural gas inventories, and once again those are 8:30 and 10:30.
And now, speaking of which, I don't think there's anything red foldered that is not a FunderPro restriction. Wait, unemployment claims. That's never a restriction. PPI, CPI, and retail sales. Retail sales is a restriction of FunderPro, right?
Yeah, everything I just said is all restricted FunderPro. Yeah, so I'm actually looking at the restricted news right now. I think it's a post that's about to go out, but yeah. So I mean, they posted in UTC +1 time zone, so it's like 14:30 tomorrow. The time is 14:30 core PPI, 14:30 core CPI on Wednesday, 16:30 crude oil inventories Thursday, 14:30 core retail sales, and 16:30 natural gas inventories. So for me, that's 8:30 and 10:30, 14:30 and 16:30.
Gotcha.
Well, let's see. Do we look for a short today, or were we just shaking along without pre-market? This will be the question.
Yeah, and I'm just going to ride this tiny remainder of this trade short.
I was just going to say, are you still in?
Still in it, and I don't think I'm going to add to it. I think it's been coming down too long. If New York does a freaky bounce, I might get in on a bounce play, but I'm going to stick to these trend lines.
I forgot to go live on Instagram. You already know that.
The question is, what you're going to do on NAS 100 over there?
I don't know. I'm torn. I'm going to give it some time. See what happens here. We are currently trading below Friday's low. On the NQ chart, it's the level's 2846.75. So that's a level that I'll be watching for reactions to see if we reject it. We're currently below it. On the, let's see here, market on my chart, and I can show you. But you can see we rejected that level there. So on Trade Locker, the level that I'm watching on NAS 100 is 2697.93. And yesterday's or Friday's low is right above that. Friday's low is right here.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's going to kind of be a reaction point. I don't know, maybe we just dump off the open. I don't know, but I think we maybe rally at least to try to test yesterday's low in this level again during the New York session, and then I will see what reactions look like from there. Whether I will try to get short on rejections around there, back under there, those levels, that area here, kind of this is yesterday's low. This is the hourly level I'm watching. So I'm watching there for reactions. I mean, we definitely have some room below. I actually don't think I have anything marked below. It's gotta look at that. And then on the NQ chart, I have a support level below at 2741, which we have already tested. We kind of spiked below pre-market and we have rallied from. Just getting this stuff marked up on Trade Locker right now. So this is kind of the zone that I'm watching.
Okay. Go, Tyler.
We'll see. We'll see. Oh, and on a FunderPro futures standpoint,
yeah,
I got a little bit of news. I think today they are having a small select number of people able to start using the product. I may even place a couple trades on it today myself. I'm not going to be streaming it or anything like that. Okay. But I will. I may be placing some futures trades, so you may hear me talking some pricing when I'm talking prices. I try to give you both of them. New York is now open, and we are off. Mark up our opening print here.
We have some people already in the chat.
And sorry, I just said one thing. Why this firm is not famous, even if you guys giving live funded accounts. Yeah, I don't know. I guess your definition of famous. So the question that was asked was, sorry, I just want to know one thing. Why is this firm not famous, even if you guys giving live funded accounts? Yeah, I mean, if I had to be totally honest with you, the only reason FunderPro isn't, the most popular Forex prop firm would be our challenges. Because we give people live funds, our challenges are a little harder. And yeah. I think most traders are looking for the easiest route to getting funded, the cheapest and easiest route to getting funded, as opposed to thinking about, who's going to be the most reliable when it comes to payouts and things like that, which really is really the thing that matters more than anything. But I think
it's also young.
What's that?
Yeah, it's a young organization.
Too. Yeah, we also haven't been around nearly as long as some of our competitors. Yeah. They've been around a lot longer than us. So, but we'll get there. Don't worry, we'll get there. I think this edition of futures will help as well in getting kind of our name out there to the futures audience as well. Oh, you got the best live account on the payouts. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. But I wouldn't say that we have a lack of customers. I just had a kind of end of year review meeting with the team, and they had FunderPro had a good year. So I think think the customers are there. Maybe you don't hear us talked about on social media as much or stuff like that, but you know, we're still here, baby. We're still around. It's weird, Brian. I've noticed when I like minimize my Trade Locker app to like look at comments or do stuff like that, that on my stream preview it quits showing the candles moving. I don't know if you noticed that too, but
and that's the web version.
no, I use the app, the desktop
Yeah,
app.
that's the app. Okay.
I think the web version kind of did it too. When I noticed before, it just seems like when I don't have it like actively up, it almost goes into kind of like a sleep mode where it's not like actively showing you the. And it could be the streaming. And I'm not saying it's a Trade Locker thing. I think it could be the streaming.
No. I don't know if that's browser related when it's the web or
Yeah,
I think it's data feed. I think neither the desktop nor the web is programmed in a way that is
yeah.
definitely
If you're
not
not looking at it, that yeah, exactly. It doesn't.
it's not going to keep pinging for live
Yeah,
data.
exactly.
It does
Yeah.
it to me too.
Yeah.
I know when if I open up my phone, I'm getting lunch, I want to check my trade. Yeah, I have to give it at least 4 seconds to sort of jolt up.
Yeah.
You know, has it ever scared you? It's actually scared me before. Thinking like, I'm actually for like 3 seconds, I'm looking at something from 4 hours ago.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
When it does, yeah, it doesn't load.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my God, what happened? My short went long,
US 30 with a big push at open here. In this first 5-minute candle. We are getting ready to close that candle here in 30 seconds. NQ gave us a spike down, or I should say NAS 100 gave us a spike down and a bounce, but we just didn't quite tick the level. Still a red bar in that 5-minute. This is something we talked about on Friday, was the indexes and how recently we've been seeing a lot of divergences between somebody asked if they were like a correlated pair, NAS 100 and US 30, and we kind of gave an explanation on that. But we talked about the divergence, and you can see kind of that divergence on the 5-minute and really strong 5-minute close on US 30, where NAS 100 gave us kind of a weak red doji 5-minute close. So I mean, you could kind of play that either way. You could say because of that, you're going to play that divergence, and you're going to think that NAS 100 is going to continue to be weak since US 30 is so strong. Or another way to look at it would be, I think NAS 100 is going to play a little bit of catch up here to US 30, and think that it could help lead us to a bounce.
Mm-hmm.
One thing we talked about on when we were talking about was just we looked at some of the individual names and stocks that make up the NASDAQ and the Dow, which is NAS 100 and US 30. There's a couple of names that are in both of them, but there are a lot of different ones as well. So if NAS 100 is weak and US 30 is strong, the individual names in the Dow typically are having a stronger daily performance, and the individual names in the NASDAQ are having a weaker performance on the day. There's the level test from NAS 100. So see how we react. How's gold looking, Brian?
Sideways.
Yeah.
Sideways, yeah.
I feel from the little bit that I've watched gold on the live stream with you guys, that it has kind of these crazy strong moves and trends, and then when it goes into consolidation, it like really consolidates.
It does, yeah. It's good observation. One of the reasons it attracted me originally was the consolidations. And here I was at the beginning of this live stream today, sort of on the fence about it. But okay, so for me, the bright side of those consolidation moments that happen so repetitively with gold is that it gives me a chance to get structured, get settled, and see, okay, what's the market doing right now? You know, if I'm intraday trading, I already know what the week and the month are doing, you know, but what did it do while I was asleep? That's usually all I'm catching up to, is what did it do on the 6 hours I wasn't looking at it. That consolidation is basically a nice pause in the market, so I can get my bearings. What I hate about it is then entering the market off of those consolidations, because I would say definitely 50% of the time I'm incorrect. You know, I try not to throw too much weight into my reason why I go in. It's like, just make sure you have a good way to control your loss, because I tell myself it's probably a 50 to 66% chance I'm going to lose this first trade. So I'd rather just lose pennies on the dollar. And usually I do. You know, I like to go in lately with a attitude of every trade I do. I like to think this is a losing trade unless proven correctly. If for me it works, if you have that attitude, you'll control your losses a lot better. Watch me say something completely new next time we live stream. I'm learning something every day. I'm learning a lot about myself every day, it seems like. But that's why we're here on the live stream, right? To share thoughts, ideas,
Yep.
emotional, psychological support to others.
Consider a US 30 short. We had we swept its pre-market highs and started to reject. Wow. NAS and SPX are pretty weak. Not
Gold might be finally doing a continuation. Maybe. Boof. We're finally over 100K. Not staying it. So what is interesting about gold in the moment is it's approaching the 4-hour key level off of a downtrend, an intraday downtrend. It's within pennies of this thing. It's already bounced off it twice in the last couple hours.
I tried a small US 30 short.
You did.
I got to stop over today's high.
All right, it's on.
Yeah.
Oh, what's this bounce gonna do? So look over at gold now. It's either gonna bounce up again, or
Yeah, I can show your screen too. Oh yeah, because you're so if you're looking at gold, right, we have been in this consolidative range.
yes.
And Brian, you can mark this too, but kind of what I'm seeing here is obviously we've kind of putting in this consolidated range right here. So it's, do we hold these lows and continue to consolidate, back and forth here? Or will we get a breakdown?
Here it goes. And the bottom of your range you just freehanded is the exact key level on the 4-hour chart.
Yeah. Okay.
You pegged it. I mean, you pretty much pegged it when you do that.
So yeah, so it's one of those things that we talked about, I think on Friday too, the knock theory. We've been at Brian's key level. So we've bounced off it a couple times. We're now knocking, third time we've knocked on the 5-minute chart here. So does that level finally let us in and break? Or does it continue to hold? So yeah, FunderPro does have a lot of features that I know they talked about highlighting a little bit more inside of FunderPro. The dashboard, the FunderPro Labs is really good for educational and back testing, that kind of thing, as well as I think they just got together with Edgeful as well, which is something we've talked about on this stream, and daily payouts, anything over $50, which is awesome. A booking, so your profits are coming from the market, so you don't have to, You don't have to stress, am I going to get paid out if the prop firm's selling more accounts or not. Gold giving us a little bounce again, a little bounce again so far. No one else in the industry gives these features. That's right, baby. I like it. Shout out, Son of God. Read charts, fire. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're reading the charts over here. NAS and SPX continuing to be weak. US 30 holding up for now. My trade's sitting right around break even. Brian, you said you're still holding some of your gold shorts?
Yes. Small one. Small amount. That's gone an extra decent distance. Hindsight's 2020. I wish I would have re-entered with a heavier size, but this is not a continuous part of a trade from earlier. This is just when it took that bounce off the 4-hour key level earlier. As soon as it bounced off that trend line, I jumped in again with a small size.
US 30 just stopped me out. Nice strong bounce across the board in the indexes.
Yeah, now we're entering the time of day where gold can discourage you. It can do 20 to 50 range of pips ranges. It's knock you out, get you into a good profit, or give you bad slippage on a stop loss. So many reasons why I started implementing the London session into my trading. Such a much more calmer period.
NAS is back above. Well, it's battling with the opening print. That 5-minute candle took it up above. We got a 2-minute close above.
So, without any major financial news today, gold could just keep trending ever so slightly or get stuck in a consolidation for the remainder of the day.
Yeah, I was just going to
I've
say
seen
maybe play a
both.
little bit of wait and see.
Yeah, you just
on
have
the
to play
news.
it. Yeah.
$90 booked in US 30 short. All right, Vikas, good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, I had a chance for some small profits. I wanted a little bit more. Ended up taking a small stop, like $80. I did get a pretty solid entry on a NQ long on my futures account, but we'll see if we fail the opening print. I kind of have a nice. I already moved my stop to break even. I got in near the lows. Currently rejecting the opening print. Coming back to test that level I'd marked up. I don't know if I am even showing me. I would have liked to see a spike under the for NAS. I would have liked a little bit more if we spiked underneath this pre-market low and then rallied. But we held that pre-market low. Got a 5-minute close above the opening print, but we're now rejecting. See if we can hold this level here. But like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a slower day.
Yeah.
Or kind of a rangier day in the indexes as well, with the news tomorrow and Wednesday. Kind of the market waiting to see what happens with that.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I'm going to be out of gold and shortly and doing a long wait. It's coming back on my major trend line. My rules would make me exit soon if it does a close on the other side of that thing. Top line is my intraday trend line number 1. It was the one I would have drawn first when it started this downside. The second one is because I had a what do you call it? A B point right here. So now I have an A point and a B point. So I'll modify my trend line, keep making it steeper. And down in here, when it broke up, this is when I jumped back in because I thought, well, it's still below my main one. But I'll redraw these things and keep redefining an A and a B point so that my trend line starts getting steeper and steeper and steeper until I feel like it's exhausted, jump out, wait for the reversal. You can do a lazy man's trade, not even have 2 trend lines, right? I've done this a lot because my initial trend line is usually on a 45-degree angle, and it's breaking it right now.
Yeah, that 4-hour key level that you have. Another strong bounce.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, heading all the way back up to the top of the range here. See, it'll be interesting to see how we react.
Yeah.
If you guys are watching on Instagram, if you're commenting, we can't see the Instagram comments, so hop on YouTube and you can interact a little bit more.
Okay, pal, I'm out. Did a closure.
Good trade, good trade.
You know, small potatoes on the size of the account. It's still got to follow the rules. Now I could enter a long right now. We have a question from MLT. Does trend line work? Trend lining as a strategy works, as long as you exercise patience with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people, you'll hear some people that like using trend lines. You'll hear some people that think it's way too simple and doesn't work. I think any strategy can work. It's just how you manage your risk and how you manage your trades.
Very good point. It all works. It just
Yeah.
depends on how you manage it. So we see that's how I'll do it. I'll set up a 45-degree right there. Now I could have entered it immediately, but this is my action line. When it broke through, that's going to be considered my action line, and my safety line is going to be this new trend that we might potentially be setting up. So that means my stop loss is basically a trailing stop on the other side of this uptrend line. That means I have to be willing to take the risk from from where the price is now all the way back down to there. So what I would be waiting for here is a pullback for my entry. And that's why trend lines can work. I have to exercise patience now and wait for this thing to paint back to an entry zone.
I like how the 2-minute playing out on NAS.
And what's happening right now on gold with my trend line strategy is this is a moment where if it were to continue going straight up, it's just going to be someone else's trade, not mine. So it's not consolidating at this very second. It's trying to break out. But in that same theory, this is how I was getting stopped out left and right during London. You can't spot it in that consolidation, but it's very similar in the fact that I was not waiting for a pullback earlier. I'd have to rewind time on these candles to show how it was breaking on my trends at the time. But if you enter immediately, it can be deadly little losses to your account just over and over again.
Yeah. Yep. Paper cuts you to death.
Yes, you like that phrase, and you're right about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate getting paper cut.
Because I do that sometimes where I'm just like, I'll take a small trade pre-market and, and there's low volume or something. And I take a small loss. And I'm like, I'll just take one more so I can like make it back. The next thing you didn't. And that's like, oh man, that's like a kind of a loss. I didn't want that. I don't really see if I can make it back. Oh my goodness. Now you could just grow it. And I've had many of times where I sat down during like just like the overnight session when the volume's at its lowest. And in my mind, I was like, I'm not going to do anything stupid here. And it's like 2 hours later. And I'm like, how did I do this? This was so stupid. Should I trade the same way? It's 11th day, about to get my master account. One time or less risk. What's a master account?
I would assume it's when you set up your email address and password and get the account going with FunderPro.
Oh, okay.
A user account, like I think that's what I'd call it.
Yeah, so Andrew said about to get my master account. And he said, should I trade the same way? It's 11th day, about to get my master account. One time or less the risk. Give me some more details, Andrew. I mean, if you're about to get your master account, I imagine that means you've been trading well.
Or
so if I were to give you advice, I would probably say continue to trade the same way. Now, if because you're going to be funded and you want to be a little bit safer, I think you could trade the same way and just kind of reduce your size a little bit, which then inherently would reduce your risk a little bit. But I wouldn't try to change things too much if what you are doing has been working. Nice pop on NAS. Real strong 5-minute candle.
Oh, come on. Here comes gold. But you see, this is where I would use if I really was anxious to enter the trade now, I would use the Trade Locker, what do you call it? Order panel risk
feature.
Yeah,
risk calculator.
Risk calculator, yeah. Yeah. But I'm a fan of the feature, but I'm not a fan of entering a trade so early, forcing you to use such a small lot size that if it did take off, you're looking at minor profits. If that makes any sense.
I mentioned earlier, I liked the 2-minute on NAS. Looks like we may go tag this upper level I was watching, but the 2-minute, if we scale this down, I'm looking at the 5 right now. This is the 2. So obviously we were downtrending coming into market open. Market opened here, pushed down through our level, but we held the pre-market lows right here, and then got a real strong push, which gave us a close above the opening print, a 2-bar pullback to the level, nice hold, and rally here now. Looks like we're just went up, and maybe I don't know if we actually tagged it on the futures chart, but yeah, so that's a pretty nice 2-minute setup there when you look at it from a 5-minute perspective. We've talked about 3-bar plays before. So we had this big green trend bar followed by an inside bar near that kind of stayed kind of closer to the highs of this bar. So if you're someone that wants to use a 3-bar play, which this could be used on any time frame, a 3-bar play is a trend bar followed. So bar 1, bar 2 is an inside bar, either at the highs or the lows, if it's a bearish or bullish 3-bar play. And then, so you could take long entries on this with a stop under here, which ended up triggering. So this kind of acted as a bit of a pause bar in the 5-minute. So we'll see. We talked about it earlier that we wouldn't be surprised to see some range today. I wouldn't be. I kind of think this rally maybe can take us up and maybe test Friday's low. But my expectations are definitely managed here on this NQ trade. US 30 really strong still. The VIX, which is the volatility index, is dumping pretty good right now. NVIDIA with a strong rally. Apple really ugly today. Microsoft pretty flat. Amazon getting a bit of a rally. Tesla strong on the day. So kind of a mixed view on individual names. Yeah, if you look at the Market Watch heat map, it looks like a Christmas celebration. It's just red and green everywhere. So a pretty mixed bag, which I think also lines up with the theory of potentially seeing some range action today. It's not like every individual name is working in sync with strength. You know, some of the tech names I said are getting a bit of a bounce, but then some of them like Apple, which is pretty highly weighted in some of the indexes, is really weak. So interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
What time frame are you on there?
What's that?
What time frame are you using for your NAS chart?
So right now this is the 5-minute. I've talked about this before. I watch the 2, 5, and 15-minute actively. I have all three of those up on another broker. Just so I can keep an eye on how those play out together, because I like to consider them all. I also watch the hourly, but right now the NAS chart that I'm showing is the 5-minute, which we have this range kind of levels, kind of rejected pre-market, then we held the pre-market lows, bottom level, so we're kind of been in this range for a while here. We'll see if this ends up holding and breaks the top of the range, or if we head back down.
Is there a scaling size that you prefer for the NAS 100? If you're on a 5-minute chart, is there a price scale that?
Yeah. So like I think obviously the smaller the time frame, the way I trade, right? So I showed the 2-minute earlier. If you could, obviously the smaller the time frame, I think the tighter the stop you can get, but I think probably also the higher likelihood of a failure. So like on the 2-minute chart, for example, the way I like to trade is, say I wanted to take a long trade on the 2-minute chart here. We had this strong bar. We got the 2-minute 2-bar pullback to the level that started the bounce. My entry would have been be a break above this 2-minute high with a stop below that 2-minute low. So this is like I call my signal bar, by a little bit of a failure to go lower, and then this would be my entry bar. So my entry bar is the bar that would either break above or below, and then my signal bar is the bar before it. So I would say the smaller time frame that you go on, the tighter point stop you can get, the tighter of a point stop you can get. But NAS, the way the volatility of NAS 100 or NQ. I mean, I think anything smaller than a 30 or even 40 point stop is can be tough. Sometimes you can get them on like the lower volume trading sessions potentially. During London or during the overnight session, sometimes you can get like a tighter 10, 20 point stop. And if you use the 2 minute, sometimes I think you can get like a 20 point stop. But for the most part, I think NAS requires your sizing to be willing to take a 30, 40 point stop a lot of the time. Because I mean, this doesn't happen all the time, but the 5 minute chart can give you a 100 point candle on NQ. I mean, this one here, 701 to, so yeah, I mean, this 5 minute candle that we had was 2701 to 2784. So that's an 83 point move on one 5 minute candle. So, and I don't know, I know everybody talks in the Forex world says pips, but I've never really used pips. I'm always using points when it comes to futures. That's kind of how I relate things in my head as opposed to pips. But because I don't even know, like like what I'm saying, if I say, 2630 to 2640 on the NAS 100 chart, and I would call that 10 points. I don't get into the decimals as much.
Yeah.
Because futures, it only moves by 0.25. There's no other numbers in that. So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Good point.
Yeah. So in my mind, I've been trading futures so long that my mind, I just, so like for every point, there's 4 ticks. So,
well, for one, I'm not trading with such sniper precision purpose.
Yeah. You don't use the one candle stops. Necessarily.
Yeah. So none of that really makes a difference with me either. It's like, at least not to a decimal level.
So, Uduza, Jerry said NAS 100, US 30, and JUR 30 are my favorite trading pairs. What should I do to trade them effectively? It does like everything, whatever, you got to find what works for your personality. One thing that I've been talking about on Friday's stream and today's stream is how these indexes are made up of individual names. So, kind of monitoring or keeping an eye on the individual names in those indexes, I think can be an added confluence to your trading. I don't want you to do that and let it like overwhelm you in a sense where you see a trade that you think's really good and one individual name maybe doesn't look as good or whatever it may be, because you got to think there's a bunch of stocks within them. But I think watching the individual names in the indexes can be an added confluence to your trading if you trade indexes. And I don't trade JUR 30. I don't know if that's like the German DAX index. I'm not 100% sure.
It is, yeah.
But I'm sure there are German stocks that coincide with that German index. I'm not 100% sure how that works, but I guess that's maybe the best advice I could give you for trading those indexes more effectively. I think the DAX or JUR 30, GER 30, is probably one has more volume, I think, during the London session.
Yeah, I monitor it.
Yeah.
The DAX is very jumpy during the London economic events. That's what you got to watch out for DAX on. I think it's relatively calm. Very jumpy it can be with European economic events. Europe overall. I shouldn't say London session, but in Europe, European economic events.
Man, I trailed my NQ stop into profits, and it just ticked me out to the tick. And now we got this pump. Sorry, it was still a green trade for me.
Cool.
But I wish I was still in it for that pop right there.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a master account and normal? I'm not sure, to be honest with you, Uduza. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what Andrew was referring to there. So there's the upper level test on NAS.
Goodness.
I think the range is possible. I'm not going to try to fade it right now. I think we could go at least test yesterday's low. And if NQ wants to fill its gap and head back up towards yesterday's close, I don't want to try and fight that. I have US 30 also testing an upper level right now. Also, I mentioned this towards the end of yesterday's stream. What are some like segments, FunderProTv, like kind of segments that you guys would like us to maybe add? If anybody has any ideas, a couple things I have in mind. I think we're going to start bringing on some of our funded traders that are kind of getting consistent payouts, and maybe try to get some of them to do some like live on air interviews and maybe some trading with us. So that will be one thing. I thought it would be fun to do and maybe even have guests on for this to kind of challenge to do like some sort of scalping challenge. Obviously, disclaimer, it would be, this is not our normal trading style. This is for entertainment purposes only, but force the traders to use like the 1 minute time frame or something like that. And maybe also have some other stipulations, like you can't hold a trade for more than 10 or 15 minutes or something. And we spend an hour in a scalping competition to see who can win more money or make more. I think that would be fun, and maybe Brian and I can do that on a demo account or something to test it out one of these days. But like the scalping challenge was kind of just like a fun entertainment type of thing that I thought of. Obviously, we have the trader funded trader interviews, live trading. I think would be cool to bring more of those guys on. But if you guys have any other ideas for anything for the stream, please feel free to hit us up and let us know. Wizard TP said, "What's the verification process in order to be funded and paid out? Is it KYC, and if so, what KYC company is used?" Yes, as far as I know, it is KYC. I'm not 100% sure what KYC company is used, Wizard, but I'll send a message here and see if I could see if I can find out for you. Tell us something similar. It's too boring. We need like live betting for the scout challenge. Otherwise, it's too boring. Yeah, so I thought of that too. Obviously, to keep it fun. Something I thought would be a cool way to do it is if like you did a live account with like each trader had, I don't know, $500 or something like that, and the winning traders' profits got to go to a charity of their choosing. I think it could be kind of like a fun way to do it. And I think that maybe both traders end up profitable, and you take all the profits and they go to the winners charity of choice. But yeah, adding some stakes, putting some higher stakes on the line definitely could be cool. Yeah, I'm going to send a message now wizard and ask about the KYC. Brian, I'll throw your chart up while I'm sending this message. The short off the level, fading NAS 100 back into the range. It looks like it was maybe the move. Pretty ugly 5-minute rejection, and looks like we're heading back towards the opening print. See if this ends up being a pullback or just continues the range.
I hope we are done with the 4-hour key level for gold because I'm back into longs.
Okay, I like it.
You know, I just thought a fun segment could be, I was trying to think of a name of what I'm trying to describe. Viewers could submit a quick assessment or a quick question on a buy or a short. You could call it risk it or skip it. Risk it or skip it. And just doing a quick like assessment for setup. If we had a special demo account that was driven by our agreement or disagreement to viewer submitted, you know, ideas. Risk it or skip it. That's a cool name.
Yeah, I do like it. I like it.
Probably end up with a lot of skip it's. All right, we could call it hell yes or hell no.
There you go. There you go. I saw I haven't looked at gold. I know coming into the market today, gold was, or not gold, oil was one of the only. I haven't looked at Bitcoin in a minute either.
Oil is one of the instruments that I want to trade in futures.
Yeah, without the spreads, yeah.
Along with platinum.
Yeah.
Without the spread. Yeah. I would continue to trade gold. But I've been watching oil. Just the spread keeps me away from it.
Yeah.
Same with platinum.
Yeah, I feel that. They do have there's like Bitcoin futures now too. A couple other things that you can trade in futures as well with crypto, but only the like the big ones, maybe ETH, but I know most of the futures props let you trade Bitcoin futures at least. NAS 100 has came back and it's now testing the New York opening print. But definitely seems to, at least so far in this first market's been open 45 minutes. Some pretty range bound action, at least on NAS 100. Yeah, I mean US 30's been pretty clean to the upside. SPX is stronger than NAS 100 so far. NAS 100 been pretty rangy.
Something that might be of interest for next week might be the U.S. presidential inauguration event. I'm actually not that familiar, nor I mean, it's every 4 years, so I'm not familiar with
Trading it.
the event itself affecting markets.
Yeah, I saw somebody else mention that.
Oh, you did?
Well.
Because, right, like a speech at the inaugural address, or that it's an incoming president can't suddenly drop interest rates or increase like the FOMC can. But it seems like you could say something that could be uplifting or detrimental.
Yeah.
Yep. I hope we don't ever have anyone say something detrimental during an inauguration speech. Might be insulting to one party or the other, but please don't be detrimental.
Yeah, if anybody can say some wild stuff, it would be old Trumpy. He could do it, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. He could do it. He wrote the book on crazy
saying
talk.
crazy stuff.
Yeah. Like him or hate him.
Yeah, he did it. Listen,
he
is purely somebody who enjoys some entertainment in your life. Whether you love him or hate him, yeah, I agree. You can't deny there's entertainment there.
For sure.
There's a reason people love the show The Apprentice.
I used to watch that thing years ago.
I remember my parents used to watch it. And when I was a kid, I would watch it, but I was like young enough that like I didn't really know what the heck was going on. Looks like an opening print hold so far for NAS. I tried another futures long as we were testing the opening print here, just because of SPX, US 30, RTY all showing a little bit of relative strength. See if it can if NAS 100 or NQ can pick it up a bit here. Nice little pop.
Let's see your screen.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot I switched.
No problem.
Sorry, Bitcoin up. Let me switch.
Oh.
I did the NQ. I did it on the futures side of things.
Okay.
This is the 1 hour chart. Let me.
Okay.
So this is the actual we've been watching today. You can see the levels I used. That we got the rejection pre-market this level. Created our opening print. We opened, spike lower. Nice hold off the level. Rallied back up. Rejected the upper levels. Came back as we were holding the opening print here. I tried a long stab. I'm in around 2630. If it were on Trade Locker, with the stop below this low. We'll see. My target is yesterday's low. I want to see if this could rally up into yesterday's low. This dotted line here. Is there any way I can do something so I don't have to click the take profit stop loss box every time I get in a trade? I just want to set it and forget it.
But you still want a stop loss set?
Yeah, I'm trying to. So, Jerry, I'm trying to. If you want to set it and forget it, for instance, like if I wanted to go long here, what I would do is you could click stop loss. Right now, this is listed as a buy, and it shows your stop loss on the screen, right? and then say I wanted to put my stop loss here. You can put your stop loss there. And then if you click TP, I could put my TP here, right? So now I have my stop loss set, I have my take profit set, and you could click buy. And that would put you in a long trade. And you could walk away from the screen. Once your take profit gets hit, your stop loss would go away. Or if your stop loss got hit, your take profit would go away. I don't know if that's exactly what you were referring to.
I can't remember, Tyler. Does it remember your choice you made so that if you'd come in a second trade or a what am I trying to say? Let's say you always want to do X number of pips or something, or X amount of dollars on that TP and stop loss. Does it remember what you did last time so you could just click it? I don't.
I'm not 100% sure. So he said I'm a scalper. I have to click 3 times just to get a trade. Well, yeah, you don't necessarily. I mean, if you have an idea of your risk, I guess, or your lot size or that kind of thing, like you could just click buy, and then once you're in a position, you can click edit, and then put your stop loss where you want it. I don't know if you manually exit your trades or you set a stop loss and price target, but you could just hit buy or sell. It'll enter the trade, and then you can make a decision. You can go from there where you then set your stop loss or take profit after the fact. You don't have to do you don't have to set your take profit and your stop loss before hitting buy or sell, Jerry. I don't know if that helps answer your question. But yeah, you just wouldn't know the exact risk that you have on the trade.
Hello, Ashton.
What's up, Ashton? Good morning. Good morning. No go on NQ there, or NAS. Yeah, this is looking like an avoid it kind of day to me. We talked about the market doing a little bit of wait and see until tomorrow's data. So far in the first hour here, haven't really gone anywhere. We're still sitting in our pre-market range, not far from the opening print. Yeah, Ashton, I had an NQ winner. I trailed my stop and got stopped in profits. And then I just took an NQ loser, trying the opening print hold here. So I'm flat. I'm pretty much flat on futures. I took an L on the trade locker challenge account, trying to short the high on US 30. So yeah, that's what we. So Abdul, I mean, why is NAS 100 going down? Because there's more selling than there's buying. But why is there more selling than there's buying? No one on planet Earth could actually tell you the exact reason for sure. So when you ask me why is NAS 100 going down, I would have to know what every other trader and every other algorithm on planet Earth is thinking to be able to actually answer that question for you. But one thesis would be, and we've talked about this a little bit, is there is news, pretty red folder, pretty high impact news, both tomorrow morning and Wednesday morning. And we talked about this earlier, that it would not surprise us if the market played a little bit of wait and see, where we kind of have a slower range bound type of day, which is what we've currently been having. We're kind of just stuck in a range where, we're rallying from the lows, we're rejecting the highs on the day. And one theory could be that is just because the market doesn't have a clear direction right now. The market wants to see investors and traders, they want to see what the CPI data comes out as, and that sort of thing before we start to see a trend again, whether it be up or down. What's the difference between three funded plan? What's the difference between the three funded plan and FunderPro? Toby, I'm not 100% sure what you mean by that, to be honest with you. Do you know what he means by that, Brian?
No, 3 funded. 3.
Yeah, Toby, if you could just clarify for me a little bit on that, I'll try to get that question answered for you. Also, Wizard, earlier on the KYC thing, yeah, I can confirm they do use KYC verification process. Person I was talking to, though, wasn't sure.
I know what he means.
Who we use for that.
So
what is it?
I think it means those 3. Yeah, the regular, the swing, and the fast track. That's my guess too, like Ashton stated.
Okay. What's the difference?
However,
3 different. Okay, 3 different. Okay.
Okay,
so the differences between the 3 account types. Okay, when choosing an account. Okay, yeah. So FunderPro has just like their regular or their standard account. They have the fast track, and they have the swing account. On the regular standard account and the fast track account, you could not hold positions over the weekend or through restricted news events. So we talked about this earlier or just a second ago. Tomorrow morning at 8:30 my time, we have some restricted news, and on Wednesday at 8:30 and 10:30 we have some restricted news, and I think maybe it was Friday there's some news as well. So on any of those events, if you were in a trade, you would have to close it. I was just laughing at Air's comment. But any so on any of those trades or any of those accounts, standard or fast track, you have to close for the weekends and for news. And then the difference between those two, the standard is a 2-phase challenge account. So like the profit target is a little lower. I think maybe the drawdown is a little more on the standard phase. You're also given more leverage, I think, on the standard. I can't remember which one has more leverage, to be honest with you. I think one of them has a little bit more leverage.
Regular,
yeah. So the regular 2-phase account gives you a little bit more leverage, and it's a 2-phase account. The profit targets are slightly different. The fast track is just a 1-phase account. So I think on the standard, you have to pass phase 1 and phase 2, and it's like a 10% profit target, and so you have to make 20% total. And then the fast track is you have a little less leverage, but you have to make 14%, I think, and it's all in just one phase. So that's the difference between those two. And then the swing account, you're able to hold through restricted news. So if you're in a position, you can hold it through news. You're able to hold through the weekends. So you could take a trade and hold it for a month if you wanted to. You also get less leverage. So that's the difference between the 3. But yeah, Toby, if that none of that makes sense to you, it is on the website. It'll break it all down. If you just look around a little bit, there's all the details are on there. So Eric, because I'm a nice guy. Eric said, why you even explain? Because I'm a nice guy, man. Oh my goodness, the range continues on NAS. We sell back down towards the bottom of the range, and we instantly put in a super strong 5-minute bounce. Yeah, man. So this is one of I'm not a range trader. I like to trade trends. So this is a day I like to avoid. Brian talked about this a little bit earlier, where he got caught in the range a little bit. You keep trying to catch this breaking down or this breaking out, and you can end up paper cutting yourself a lot here. So, if you expect the range to continue, you can buy the lows, sell the highs. I just don't like to do that, because then when we do start the trend, I always get frustrated. But I like to avoid the range days if I can. So unfortunately, a little bit slower in terms of taking trades on the stream today, but for me, this is kind of an avoid day.
Gold is testing its 4-hour key level for the 4th time.
Again? Oh, jeez. Yeah, Ash, and I agree. I don't love trading ranges either.
Hey, small talk is still okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Listen, some of us, yeah, I'm not funded with Funder Pro right now. I'm funded in futures. But with Funder Pro, I am not. Since we started streaming, I've just been stuck, man. I can't. I don't know. It's a new for me as a trader. It's new to be trading,
Yeah.
while live on stream. So that's been a little bit
Well,
different
yeah.
to get used to. And yeah, I don't know. I've just been kind of I've like gone on some good winning streaks, but then I've given it back. I can't seem to get on a good enough streak here on my
Plus,
Thunder Pro account.
it should be mentioned that we really can only show our trade locker trading while we're doing this. So if we're trading other accounts, we will only be showing a Funder Pro trade locker account here. I guess it could be C Trader, but I should say Funder Pro.
Yeah.
Overall.
Yeah, I haven't talked to them yet on once futures is fully underway. I'm really hoping that I'm able to trade Funder Pro futures on the live stream, just because it's a little bit more. Not that there's a huge difference when you're trading the indexes, to be honest with you, but it's just even certain things like when you add to trades on futures instead of it showing as a new position, right? So like say you're in an NQ trade, it's working in your favor, you get a pullback, you add to it, it automatically just shows you your entry at like your new average price, and just certain things like that. There's like minor differences in the futures and forex trading, and I just kind of prefer some of those things with futures. But that being said, I do like trading the indexes on Trade Locker. I think it's a nice platform. The spreads on the indexes are good. I just haven't been able to get on a roll, man. I just haven't been able to get on a roll with the streaming and Thunder Pro accounts the last month or so. Jerry said that ranges work good for me as I'm a mean because he's a mean reversion trader. Yeah, I think ranges can be awesome if you're a scalper. I just when I'm winning and I'm trading well, I typically hold my trades for a couple hours, and in this range right now is like you'd have to be in and out of trades every 15 minutes really. But that's why we talk about a lot that some of the questions people have asked, you like they want like a cookie cutter answer every time, and you almost should preface everything in the terms of your style, your mindset, your personality, and that's something that if you're a newer trader that takes time to learn. So so we preface a lot of the answers with whatever works, you got to find what works for you, but here's my opinion on this, but I may not think like you think, you may not think like I think. Wizard, we got an answer on your KYC verification question. It's called SUMSUB, SUMSUB. I guess that's who handles our verification process. Brian, did you go long or short here?
Short.
Sure, okay.
Short. Yeah. So
I think this key level could break here.
It's going to do this ranging thing and try to stop me out, but I'm watching it closely. I feel like I'm in control. That's the main thing.
Man, another this range on the NAS is just whew. Gotta try to not let it frustrate you because I'm just like part of me wants to try the opening print long again, but I feel like I kind of missed that 2-minute entry. If you're a trend line guy, you could I guess you could kind of say you were almost breaking the 5-minute trend line. But yeah, I don't know. This is just range. There's not much of a trend to be looked at, in my opinion. Maybe a scalp, but I'm gonna stay away for right now.
I'm playing it because it is testing over and over again that key level, and if it slides through it, I'm not going to chase it. I want to already be in the trade. So I've already tried the bounce. That worked a little bit, but then the stop loss took away my profits. Now I'm shorting it, thinking it's going to pass through it on the downside. I think the current 5-minute candle on gold and maybe the next one are going to be the key candles here. Yes, error X. I trade with some price action theory. I use the most popular ones, I believe. I use more like engulfing candles when they are near my strategy setups.
Yeah, Eric, I use price action trend analysis, price action analysis, and then I have like an hourly support and resistance level that I watch for reactions from. And I use multiple time frames kind of in conjunction with each other as well. Those are kind of like the four things I watch for. Oh my goodness, that NAS bounces. Oh, we're all the way back to the highs. I'll show, I don't know if you've looked at it, Brian, but I'll pull it up. Just some serious range. But that looks pretty strong. I think, like I mentioned, I took the opening print long because I wanted to test Friday's low. I think we go at least test that now. Yeah, that's the thing, Ashton, is we had a range day last week and we talked about it. And I think Brian and I both tried some shorts when I think I even mentioned, I said, really what the good time to be short would be to let us break these highs, sweep out, take out all the liquidity from the short stops and then make new lows. And that's exactly what we did. Wouldn't surprise me to see Ashton, to the question that I'm currently answering, Nas trying to stop out shorts or breaking out. Yeah, so I mean, it wouldn't surprise me here to see a rally into Friday's low that kind of takes out a lot of the intraday short stop loss liquidity that then sells back into the lows of the range. But we'll see.
Tyler and I are both showing you our screens for a challenge account.
Yeah, Jason, you may have just hopped on. We just talked about this a few minutes ago. But yeah, we're currently showing our FunderPro challenge accounts. That being said, US 30 is still, well, I guess, I mean, it's strong intraday. But US 30 is still in the middle of Friday's range. So it's, it's showing some relative strength. But if one of them were going to break out, I guess that would be that would be the strong horse right now.
Okay, so over on my chart, if anybody is curious watching that wants to try out gold right now, I think it's on a potential This is just probability, but on a potential candle decision, if this current red candle, which on a 5-minute chart has 2 minutes left, 2 minutes remaining, and it's headed down towards the 4-hour key level. If it gets close to that and engulfs these other 2 green candles, I think you're looking for it not to bounce. You're looking at a solid short. That doesn't mean it won't go up. It's coming off a adjustment on the downtrend. I'm in it strong right now on a short. The only thing that would stop me, the only reason I would exit at this point on this short is if it, in the next minute and a half, shoots straight up and knocks out that trend line, closing on the other side, I'm out. Otherwise, it's just now done another nice 5-minute chart retest on the downtrend. Just saying that in case somebody is out there wanting to agree or disagree on the trend.
AirX, yeah, your boy over here is down bad. I'm in serious drawdown on my challenge account. I'm probably gonna end up blowing it, unfortunately. But I mean that happens. We'll start fresh. I think he wasn't drawdown last week, but I think he maybe got his back to break even, maybe even to small profits today. But
almost.
I'm like $100 away from losing this challenge account that I'm on. So that's why I've taken some future trades and not many on the forex side of things, just because I want to be real picky about it if I'm able to pull this one out of drawdown or not. But yeah, my back's against the wall at this point. Full transparency. I'm not trying to hide anything from you.
You have to show that we lose challenges too. And I think there's a certain amount of risk that you're able to leverage in a challenge at times,
Yeah.
It's part of it. I think you learn a lot about yourself too.
There's new highs on NAS for the day. Haven't tested yesterday's low yet. We'll see if we can get above it. I mean, I don't think some upside trending action is off the table. That's a really strong 15-minute bar. Just closed. Part of me wants to try US 30 long, but I don't know, buying the highs here.
Who else is in the gold sales with me right now? Are you taking the trade, Ashton, or just saying that it's triggering? It's currently doing what I wanted it to do, what I mentioned a moment ago. Okay. So if you're trying to enter gold on a short right now, you would want to be careful that you are entering with a risk amount you're comfortable with losing in case it goes back above that trend line. And I have this updated trend line. If this candle can get through that 4-hour key level, then at that point I'll believe in this trend and I will actually extend this a little bit. Maybe. Right now, technically, I don't even need that. I shouldn't have even drawn it yet. I'm waiting for this to really establish as a complete pullback. That's why I was thinking these 2 candles were critical, because the pullback could have been stronger. If this one stays red for the next 3 minutes and closes out the 5-minute candle, then that was a strong pullback on a 5-minute chart. I'll extend the trend line to that high, and then we're headed down. Potentially, hopefully. Yeah, Ashton, I agree. Always treat your trade entry as if it's a losing trade. Believe everything's a thief, basically, because you should be ready to exit the trade.
Got the tag of Friday's low on those. See how we react. Eric said, yeah, I effed up my FunderPro challenge. Yeah, man, it happens. It's tough. Sometimes you gotta just take a step back, reset, come back with a fresh mindset, and make sure you're analyzing what you did wrong, and come in and try to improve it on the next one.
Come on, gold. Be a friend today. I wish this current red candle would take out that green one. 20 seconds remaining in the candle. Stay down.
MD said my position 2670. Unfortunately, missed the text trade 2690. Are you long or short? ND. Nas ripping faces off. A lot of interest in long still don't. I know. I'm still skeptical overall. We're still right at that Friday low. But I mean, we're getting strong 5-minute closes, and that's a really strong 15-minute close that we just had. So it looks like this could be the breakout. We'll see. But pretty similar action to I think what we had last week when with the range, where this is exactly what we got, a strong bounce from the lows. We swept to new intraday highs, and then we rejected and made new lows. So we'll see. I'm not saying that happens again. Obviously, it doesn't necessarily have to happen again. I think that strong 15-minute close, pretty strong second hour of the day so far.
Goodness.
Eric said, are you guys hiring Discord mods at the moment? I'm not 100% sure. If you go to FunderPro.com/careers, I believe it is, Eric. It'll let you know if there's any active positions open or not. I'm not 100% sure at the moment. But yeah, just check that page and it'll tell you if there's anything. Just keep an eye on that.
How's this for prediction? I mean, that's the truth of it, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is it's been some strong support so far. That last bounce is definitely the smallest bounce we've had off it, though. So
yeah,
we're already back down testing it again. Yeah, I could see a gold new low here on gold, based off of that.
It'd be nice.
We're also at weaker bounce.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Just based off of every other bounce, like it was, strong bounce, pretty strong bounce, equally strong bounce, really strong bounce, and now this is kind of a weak bounce. Makes me think maybe we see new lows here.
Possible. Didn't mean to cut you off. I was simply adding in that we're also at a decent time of day. We're not an hour from now. I would question this a little bit as we would be entering into a New York lunch period and a London close period. But to be testing a key level and a trend line with time remaining in the London session, we have enough potential volume to push it through. I guess you could say we have enough potential volume to reject it too.
Yeah.
Don't know, don't care. I'm just trying to get into get my trading more into a 100% reaction of the market with no anticipation of prediction.
Looking like maybe we should have taken the NAS new high short. We were getting a pretty strong rejection so far. You can see we went up. Right above Friday's low. Made new highs on the day. So far, really similar to what we saw last week. See how it plays out, but gold 1 hour close scary. Let me look at gold 1 hour.
Oh, I don't want to see that.
I mean, I think the gold 1 hour looks pretty good for shorts, Brian.
Yeah, I've seen. Once I'm in the middle of intraday trading, I won't flip back to a higher time frame. I'd use that for analysis, but I've had it influence my trades too often in a loss type of manner, like where I get freaked out because the 1 hour, the 30 minutes not cooperating with my execution time frame.
Yeah, I mean, I think new lows seem pretty likely here. Obviously, I could be wrong, but based off of the hourly and the 5 minute and everything that we've been looking at, I think we at least make a new low here. Which, I mean, we got a few more, looks like a few more ticks or pips to go before we're making new lows.
Okay. Very deciding candlestick here with gold. But it could still go up and then come back down in a little while. So it'd just be nice if it would get it over with.
Let's go Ashens in the gold shorts with you. Here we go, baby. Get down. Get
down. 4th down and 2. Anybody see the Buffalo Bills play Denver?
Is that your team? Are you Buffalo guy?
Nah, it was just happens. It's the wild card NFL game. So
yeah. I just didn't Houston play too? Aren't you a Texas guy?
Oh, I hate the Houston Texans, even though I live here.
Where are you from originally?
Not too far from here.
Okay, so you're from Texas.
I've always been in Texas. Yes.
Are you a Cowboys fan, or who do you like?
Eagles, Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, okay.
Hey, okay. Okay. Well, I don't want to give away too much of our locations, but you're.
That's right. I've talked about it. Yeah.
That's not the exact location you're at, but close enough. Or you could be a Steelers fan, but.
Yeah, I am a Steelers fan, and they absolutely, in very Steeler fashion of recently, started the year decent and then completely and utterly crapped the bed. They got owned by the Ravens this week in the wild card game. McHeason, I like that name. Does TradeLock have time frame templates like TradingView? Oh, I wish I could answer that question. I don't really use TradingView, but Brian, I don't know if you're able to answer that question or not. The only time I've really used TradingView is just like through whatever the trade locker stuff.
You definitely can save templates on both. I don't know if this is referencing pre-system designed templates.
Yeah, I know you can like your drawings and stuff, like all those kind of templates, but I'm not sure what you mean by time frame templates. Or if you mean like a grid view, maybe.
Here we go on gold. Check
There's
that
the
out.
breakdown, baby. There's the breakdown. NAS still moving lower. Hasn't made a huge move down yet, but we broke that 5-minute low.
Come on, gold. Go to the South Pole for me. Ashton's living in Florida, going for Tampa. That's a lost cause.
Woke up.
Yeah.
Ashton, I have my brother-in-law lives in Tampa.
Yep.
But we visit Tampa pretty frequently since I have family there. Brian Air said, "How many pips do you usually target in gold?"
I actually don't target anymore. If anyone watches the AMA interview I did with Christian and Gary 6 months ago, I talked about that. I talked about my profit. So my profit targets used to be 20 pip intervals, and I would target 60 to 100. Now I do more of a let the market tell me when the profits are done. So what I do more now is I take my profits out in the partial removals. So I don't target gold. I've been trying to create a new mindset of controlling my losses better. Error X. So what that means is, and this is why I started showing the trending trading on the Trade Locker screen, because when we first started live streaming, I wasn't showing this screen. I was showing a different screen. So I'm guiding my trade based on when I'm going to get out. That'll dictate what my profit is, because there was many times where I would miss out on extended profits simply because I had a stop loss predetermined. Nothing of a strategy that I invented, but I've seen a lot of successful traders do it this way. And it seemed maybe like it was a part of my personality that fits. So I've been using it to my success lately. On trend trading right now, this is the trend line I have drawn. Even if I modify this shortly to come in a little tighter, the trend line is going to be my stop loss. Well, on the other side of it on a closed candle. So hope that kind of answers your question.
Awesome, good stuff, man. 2-to-1 risk reward is always good.
Yep, that's good.
Something that you could even try to do, Ashton, I don't know what kind of size that you trade with, but would be like one thing that helps me hold winners a little bit better sometimes is the taking of partials, right? So say you were in with just for example 2 lots, right? You take off half, take off 1 lot when you hit your 2-to-1 risk to reward, and you move your stop to break even, and then maybe kind of trail that stop if the position continues to work in your favor. So instead of like moving fully from a strategy from taking profits at your profit target, move to a strategy where you take half your profits and then you try to hold the runners per se. Just a suggestion, maybe. I think Brian and I have both stated that we will take partial profits. As you can see, Brian's, he's in with 3 different entries, right? So, he could take profits on one of those entries or 2 of those entries and then let the other ones ride, that kind of thing. Sometimes that's a good way to help. Taking partials is a good way to catch runners that really move, that go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 R to R.
Yeah, Nothing wrong with them R to R's. It just happened. I think that was a good Error X's question to me a moment ago opens up a whole can of discussion on my part, because it's been a lot of soul searching of myself the last few months, getting to a profit target mentality that I wanted to improve on. And I've realized it starts with my losses, my control of losses.
We're going to be on for about 10 more minutes. If anyone has any questions or feedback, I mentioned this earlier. I don't know if there are as many people on, but if you guys have any ideas for any kind of segments that you'd like to see on the stream, any ideas to kind of make it either more entertaining or more educational, please feel free. We'd like to start adding some weekly segments in. Ashton said, "Yeah, I've tried a few times. Apparently, I'm not good at it. Seem to lose more money when I take partials." Yeah, and once again, it kind of goes back to kind of if just taking your win at your planned exit is better for your personality, then rock with it, man. Seem to make more profits taking 2-to-1s. Yeah, that's a good, and that's another reason that we track your trades, so you know what you do best, and then lean into it.
Yeah, what you feel comfortable with.
Well, the NAS still melting. We're not quite back to our New York opening print, but almost back to it. The range has continued so far.
Yeah, NAS did a fantastic realignment on itself.
Yeah, Ashton, great reversion on NAS that I missed. Yeah, we talked about it, right? We had the conversation, sweep to new highs into Friday's low that you could potentially short, but I stayed away as well. Could have been a really tight risk to reward trade, though, that's for sure. You got to stop above the high, because we kind of put a shaved double top on the 5-minute. But man, that's such a strong 15-minute bar to short back into. Just this range. That's that range price action for you.
Dump it, Goldie. Yeah, I like that phrase. Haven't heard that.
Mm-hmm.
An easy phrase. I like that phrase.
AirX, bye guys. I'll come tomorrow. We're not on tomorrow, but we're back on Wednesday. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday as of right now. That may increase in the future, but for right now, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So we'll be back on Wednesday. See if gold can now, right, this key 4-hour key level you have acted as support for 4 times, and let's see now if it can flip and turn into the old resistance.
And it has it by coincidence, the trend line resistance possibly right now.
Yeah, and it's funny, you'll see those things line up. From what I've found, when you look at trends with levels like that, you'll oftentimes see, and a lot of traders would consider that to be their confluence, right? Mm-hmm. Where you have possible trend line rejection, possible key level rejection, those two things lining up together. Which I'm not telling you that you should go short here, but I see Brian's case for continuing to hold this short to see if we can get a rejection here and continue to move down.
Yeah. And this first trend line that it's coming upon, touching right now, I could stop out if it goes too high above it. That's really sort of my warning track. My main trend line is my ultimate get out. This is also an area where if it had already dropped, deep, heavy, I would be using these touches on this adjusted trend line now to take profit, a partial. But since we're only within very, very small distance from my entry point, I'm not doing that yet. I felt better taking it down low when I did. But after we complete our live stream, anybody watching gold will know what happened to me.
Nas made its way all the way back down to the New York Open. If anybody took that short that we talked about, that would have been a nice trade. Interesting though, US 30 still holding up.
I wish gold would turn around with some speed. I'm tired of my Thunder Pro challenge hovering around the
flat,
starter point.
Just a suggestion for the stream. Would it be possible to get y'all's names on the window? I'm terrible with names, so never remember. We make it easier. Yeah, that's my bad actually. We used to have them up, and I think we maybe took it off for something, and just forgot to put them back on. But yeah, actually, if I ever forget to put them on again, YouTube, Brian, just remind me, and I'll make sure to get them.
Okay.
To get them put back up there. Because I've achieved 7.5% profit target in 25K fast track account in 16 days of trading, 65% winning trade. Heck yeah, man. Good stuff.
That's good.
That's awesome. That's 65% win rate is awesome. I think you're a little more than halfway to your target on the fast track account. Nothing wrong with 16 days. That's great. And congrats, man. Keep it going. Keep it going. Curious, what do you like to trade, Vitcus? Do you trade indexes? Do you trade gold? Trade forex pairs? Do you have one specific setup that you like to stick to? Just curious what's been working for you. Maybe be able to help out somebody in the chat.
Gold is just flirting with my stop loss. It's like I wish it would go down a little so I could turn my back on it for a few minutes and after the live stream take my phone to my break room, get a fresh coffee.
Yeah, a little lunch is starting to sound good to me.
When we finished the stream on Friday, I waited out gold and had a couple more entries. They were profitable, nothing to brag about, but nonetheless, it just kept producing on Friday. It was great. Well, if we go back to 2,700 on gold, the charts will tell us, but you can't predict when that's going to be. So could be quite a few ups and downs between that, and a lot of time opportunities to go long and go short. So on a fundamental level, I don't really see a tremendous opportunity for gold to go up with the USD revaluing itself now. A lot of analysts say it's going to go down to 2,600. I think 2,605. I don't use fundamental analysis like that, but I like to follow it because I think it makes sense on the long term. And I am really I'm counting the days till I can be a day trader that trades only on the 4-hour chart. I guess at that point it'd be a swing trader, but I think I'd still call it day trading.
Just kind of set it and let it work.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not there yet, but I think that would be a next step for me, maybe in a year from now.
Nikhil, so to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure the time difference between like myself and what it is in India. But I think I know Brian likes to trade London. I think gold gets pretty good volume during the London session. So for me personally, I'm on Eastern Standard Time. I think London opens at 3 a.m. So kind of and then New York session opens at 9:30 a.m. So whatever the London session is for you in India, I think a lot of gold traders prefer kind of the London session pre-New York.
Yeah.
And I think that's when you'll get like the best spreads for exactly, right? You can see how we got a downtrend during London, and then New York has just kind of consolidated and ranged a lot.
Yeah. So that's London up to New York Forex open. I guess the stock exchange open was still way over here, so consolidated, like you said, Tyler. London can be helpful. So after we complete the stream here, if this pushes through this trend too hard, I'll stop out, continue to monitor for another couple hours for any opportunities. If it continues down, then I'll stay in the trade till it decides to get out.
Ashton said he's never really lost 4-1-1, 2-1, or arm down one winning trade for the day. I'll take it for a chop. I think that's good discipline, man. Knowing when to just call it and step away is a good idea. So I was just laughing at a text message. But all right, guys, I think we're gonna hop off for today and wrap it up. Like mentioned before, we'll be back on Wednesday. Thank you guys for tuning in and hanging out with us today. And we will see you guys on Wednesday. Reminder, restricted news tomorrow, an hour before New York Open. So whatever time zone you're in, just be aware of that. And we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Peace out, everybody.